Need more space but dreading planning permission? If you live in a semi-detached home in London, you're in luck, because today we're revealing how to unlock extra space with a rear extension without the headache of full planning approval. Whether it's for that dream kitchen, an airy dining space, or a slick home office, we've got you covered. Let's dive in. I'm Ella from Plandome. In this video, we're breaking down how to extend your semi-detached home the smart way, using permitted development rights. These little-known rules can save you time, money, and paperwork. We'll walk through what you can build, what to avoid, and how to get it right the first time. So, if you're ready to add space and boost value without months of council delays, hit like, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more no-fluff property advice. Let's get started. First, let's break down exactly what permitted development means. Permitted development rights are a set of rules established by the government that allow homeowners to make certain alterations or extensions to their properties without needing full planning permission. This includes changes like single-storey rear extensions, loft conversions, and garden buildings. However, there are strict rules to ensure these changes are reasonable and don't negatively impact your neighbours or the surrounding area. For homeowners with a semi-detached property, a single-storey rear extension is often one of the most straightforward options. With the right design, you can add a whole new living area, whether it's a larger kitchen, a family room, or even a home office, without the need for a lengthy, expensive planning process. Now, not every property qualifies for permitted development rights. If your home is in a designated area, such as a conservation area, national park, or area of outstanding natural beauty (AONB), your rights may be restricted or entirely removed. This means you would need to apply for full planning permission for any proposed changes. Similarly, if your property is a listed building, permitted development doesn't apply to you at all. Before you make any plans, it's always a good idea to check with your local planning authority to see if your property qualifies for permitted development. If you're unsure, seeking professional advice is always the best route. Even if your proposed extension seems to fit the rules, we highly recommend applying for a Lawful Development Certificate (LDC) from your local council. This certificate confirms that your extension is legal and complies with permitted development rules. It's not mandatory, but provides peace of mind and can be very helpful if you decide to sell your property in the future. Speaking of the Lawful Development Certificate, LDC, let's dive into why this is so important. While it's not a requirement to apply for an LDC, we highly recommend it. This certificate is an official document issued by your local council, confirming that your extension falls within the permitted development rules. This will give you peace of mind, knowing that your project is legal and compliant. Additionally, the LDC will be a huge help if you ever decide to sell your property. Future buyers will appreciate the certainty that the work was done within the legal guidelines. It's an affordable and simple step that can save you a lot of potential hassle down the line. Now, let's talk about the concept of the original building. This term is crucial when it comes to permitted development because the rules for extensions depend on the original structure of your house. The original building refers to the property as it was when it was first built, or if your house was built before July 1st, 1948, as it stood on that date. Any extensions or modifications made after that date are considered additions, not part of the original building. Why does this matter? Because the depth of your rear extension is measured from the rear wall of the original building, not from any later additions. For example, if your home has an attached garage, the year it was built plays a significant role. If the garage was built before July 1st, 1948, it's considered part of the original building and you can measure your extension from the rear wall of the garage. But if the garage was built after this date, it's not part of the original structure, and you'll need to measure your extension from the rear wall of the main house. This distinction is crucial because measuring from the wrong spot can cause compliance issues down the line. Let's also clarify, detached garages are never considered part of the original building, no matter when they were built. For semi-detached homes, there are specific guidelines you must follow when planning a rear extension under permitted development rights. First, maximum depth. The extension cannot extend more than 3 meters from the rear wall of your original building. This ensures enough space is left between you and your neighbours. Second, height. The overall height of your extension cannot exceed 4 meters. If your extension is within 2 meters of the property boundary, the maximum eaves height is limited to 3 meters. This ensures that the extension doesn't negatively impact your neighbour's privacy, sunlight, or views. Because semi-detached houses are often built close to other properties, you must be especially mindful of how your extension affects your neighbours. Any issues with privacy, light, or the visual impact of your extension can cause tension or delays, so it's worth consulting with a professional to make sure your design is respectful of your neighbour's space. The design of your extension is just as important as the size and measurements. The roof style, in particular, can significantly affect the overall look and feel of your extension. Some of the most common roof styles for single-storey rear extensions include flat roofs. Simple, modern, and often the most cost-effective option. Flat roofs blend seamlessly with contemporary designs and are easy to construct. Lean-to or mono-pitch roofs. These roofs slope in one direction, which gives your extension a modern, clean look. Mono-pitch roofs are perfect for maximizing light and creating an airy feel. Pitched or gable roofs. These are often chosen for their traditional aesthetic. They might suit semi-detached homes better, especially those with older architectural styles, as they tie into the existing look of the property. Regardless of the roof style, it's essential to ensure the overall height stays within the permitted limits, especially in close proximity to neighbours. Plus, even if you're working under permitted development rights, building regulations approval is still required to ensure your extension is structurally sound, safe, and energy efficient. Now, let's move on to larger extensions, specifically those that go beyond the standard permitted development limits. If you're planning a rear extension that extends up to 6 meters for semi-detached, these will no longer fall under standard permitted development. In these cases, a prior notification application is required for any extension that exceeds the standard permitted development size. This involves submitting an application to your local planning authority before beginning any work. It's not a full planning application, but it does include a process that ensures your neighbours are consulted and that the impact on the surrounding area is considered. This application includes a block plan showing the proposed extension and its relationship to neighbouring properties, detailed drawings of your extension, including floor plans, elevations, and any potential impact on light and privacy, a fee, typically half the cost of a standard planning application. Once the application is submitted, your local council will consult your adjacent neighbours. They'll have the opportunity to raise concerns or objections. If any objections arise, the council will assess whether the impact on neighbouring properties is acceptable or if modifications to your extension are necessary. Now let's address some common mistakes that homeowners make when planning their rear extensions under permitted development. One of the most frequent issues we see involves measurements. Many homeowners incorrectly measure their extension depth, starting from a non-original building element like a garage that doesn't qualify as part of the original structure. Another mistake is exceeding the height limits. Remember, the eaves height within 2 meters of a boundary should not exceed 3 meters, and the total extension height should not surpass 4 meters. Ignoring these limits could lead to your extension being non-compliant. Also, failing to check local restrictions, like conservation areas or listed buildings, is another big mistake. Always ensure your property falls under permitted development before proceeding with your project. Now let's explore some real-life examples of smart, functional design, starting with this clever ground floor extension that completely rethinks the way the space works. Let's begin with the original layout. The ground floor featured a front-facing lounge, a separate dining room, and a compact kitchen tucked away at the rear. While it served its purpose, the layout felt disconnected, dark, and a bit limiting for modern family life. In the new design, the kitchen has been extended and transformed into a bright, open kitchen diner, perfect for everyday living. Wide bifolding doors and a large rear window bring in natural light and connect the space to the garden beautifully. But the transformation goes deeper than just light and space. By removing internal walls, the home gains a flowing, open-plan layout that feels spacious and sociable, ideal for cooking, dining, and spending time together. And practicality hasn't been forgotten. A utility, room, shower room, and storage space have been added using smart partitions, making the most of every corner without sacrificing style. The result? A flexible, modern space that feels bigger, brighter, and far more livable. Proof that even a modest extension can completely change how a home feels and functions. Here's another great example of a smart, functional extension. One that transforms a traditional ground floor layout into a modern, flexible space designed for real life. Transform your home with a smart extension. Take a look at this clever home extension that reimagines the ground floor, creating a modern, functional space perfect for today's lifestyle. Existing layout. The original design features a compact kitchen at the rear, a separate dining room, and a lounge. While practical, it feels closed off and lacks the open, airy flow that modern homes crave. Proposed design. The kitchen is extended and opened into a spacious kitchen breakfast area, ideal for family meals. A wide rear window and bifolding doors open up to the garden, flooding the space with natural light. The removal of the kitchen wall creates an open-plan layout that connects the kitchen, dining and lounge areas seamlessly, perfect for entertaining and spending time together. To keep it practical, a utility room, shower room, and store area have been added, providing extra space without compromising the open flow. This smart extension balances modern living with functional zones, making every square metre work harder. Thinking of extending? Share your plans in the comments or follow the inquiry link below to book your free 30-minute consultation. The first 20 consultations booked receive our exclusive Rear Extension Checklist 2025 PDF, your practical guide to seamless extensions. Fill out the form, select your ideal date, and get started effortlessly. If this video saved hours of research, please like, subscribe, and explore our comprehensive playlist including planning advice, HMO conversions, working with listed buildings, and much more. I'm Ella from Plandome. Thanks for watching. Happy extending.